As you would expect with a Monday afternoon, the speculation has gone absolutely mental about the one and only Matt O'Reilly. A day when the players will be sitting at home chilling out after the game day yesterday, first game of the season. Celtic emphatically won 4-0. But Sky, who are Matt O'Reilly daft, are saying this.
Brighton are in talks with Celtic over a deal for Matt O'Reilly, one of a number of clubs keen to sign the midfielder this summer, who did feature in Celtic's first game in the new Scottish Premiership season yesterday, that comfortable victory over Kilmarnock at Celtic Park. Atalanta have already had several bids turned down. We also reported over the weekend he is one of a number of options being considered by Chelsea to replace Conor Gallagher should he complete his move to Atletico Madrid.
So, Matt O'Reilly is wanted by everyone, but no one's prepared to pay the price. No one's prepared to pay the price. And I've said it once and I've said it before. Do you really think that Brighton's a step up in your career? Be honest here. I mean, no disrespect to Brighton, no disrespect to Southampton, no disrespect to Chelsea. He wants to go somewhere where he's going to win things, I think. And I think that he'd be more than happy to sit out the rest of this season and play in the Champions League and win a treble with Celtic and try and achieve something in Europe that's not really been achieved for a long time. I think that should Celtic and Matt O'Reilly come out, you know that Celtic won't and the board won't. I mean, it'd be good for Matt O'Reilly to go, look, I'm not fucking going anywhere. But he's not going to say that because as soon as the figure that the club wants comes in, it's going to be ta-ta. But there's still hope. There's still hope. People can and do you know what makes it worse? Is when Celtic go into talks about a player, you never hear about it. But in the English media, it's like, Brighton have made contact with Celtic. Yeah, Brighton have made contact with Celtic about Matt O'Reilly. Yes. Why am I doing or fucking... it's too much. This fucking transfer talk's too much, isn't it? It's just getting to everybody now. I mean, it's as bad as the Adam Ida situation and as bad as the left back situation. Sky Sports again said that Celtic have made contact with a 21-year-old left back who Celtic are interested in. And we'll wait and see what happens. I'm not even going to speculate or add to any of the speculation now because let's just wait until it's done and dusted and we know that someone's booked for a medical when it comes to anybody coming into Celtic. Because other than that, do you know what I mean? There's that much dirt going around and there's that much nonsense going around and that much speculation going around. It's getting a bit tiresome for Celtic fans. I mean, why is a club coming out and saying, why are they announcing it to the media that they've made contact with Matt O'Reilly? Who is it that's announcing to the media that all these clubs are making contact? Because when Celtic do their business, generally nobody knows about it until the very, very last minute. I mean, the club had been in talks with Schmeichel for a couple of weeks before he joined. The manager had spoke to Schmeichel before he joined. None of it was in the press. None of it was in the press whatsoever. Anyway, if you want to have a good moan about Scottish football, if you want to talk about it even more, make sure that you jump on the live this evening, 8 p.m. Celtic Park time, where we could talk about the reality of the Matt O'Reilly situation. And I don't think that any of the clubs that he's been mentioned with so far, except for the possibility of Liverpool, would be an upgrade to his career. And let's face it, you don't want to be a journeyman. There's too many players that have came to Celtic and left Celtic and thought they were going on to bigger and better things and wanted to achieve things in the game. In reality, they don't win nothing. And I still think that Matt O'Reilly his head won't be turned just by cash. I don't think it'll be turned just by cash. If that was going to be the situation, you would jump ship and go to Atletico Madrid when you had the chance. But anyway, that's just one personal thoughts on it, and I'd like to know yours this evening. Anyway, and other Celtic news, we actually need to sit down and have the conversation who would be the replacement for Matt O'Reilly, because Paulo Bernardo is in the club, but he's not a direct replacement, I don't think. And who would Celtic bring in? We've never been linked with anyone, an attacking midfield player or someone that could possibly be an upgrade to Matt O'Reilly. Or you know, it was maybe not even an upgrade, but someone of a similar playing capacity that has the ability to turn the game the way that Matt O'Reilly does. We don't really have anyone sitting in the background. Brendan Rodgers has said that yesterday he finally saw the player he was hoping to see in Rio Hatate, the whole of last season. And maybe it is the season that Rio Hatate finds his form again. But that's another player that's wanting out the door. And if we're trying to build for the long term, and the managers came out in the last 24 hours and says, that Kasper Schmeichel has aspirations to finish the game on a high, and that there's only good things that are going to come with Kasper being at Celtic this season. That's all fine on the domestic front. But as we get ready to go into the Champions League, as we as fans get ready to watch Celtic in the Champions League, we have absolutely no confidence in this team whatsoever in the Champions League. Let's be honest. I mean, they were woeful last year. We got 4 points, but we can't see any progress with these players. You can't see them. And I don't take games that were done during pre-season with teams that were 2 games into a pre-season. You cannot take them seriously. We can take those results during pre-season and go, yeah, well, cracking results. But let's not take away, when Man City are in full flow, Celtic haven't got a look at. When Man City are in full flow and they've got their full squad, first team players on the pitch, Celtic ain't touching them. It's not going to be like a few years ago when we drew 3-3 with them down in Manchester. It's just not going to happen. When Chelsea are at full flow, maybe we can give them a bit of a competition, but we're never going to hammer them the way that we did during pre-season, that's for sure. But there has been no speculation whatsoever about who we would actually bring in. And if Paulo Bernardo is the answer, I think as fans, we're going to feel let down again this season. And if the checkbook isn't spent wisely, the fans are going to feel very, very let down. We've got 4 weeks to sort it out, and it's like, yeah, keep calm, ignore the noise. But you can't keep ignoring the noise when the media are so insistent on putting out stories on a daily basis that Matt O'Reilly is wanted by one club or another. And for me, it is just a case of someone's making a noise somewhere. I hope to God it's not Matt O'Reilly's agent. I don't think it would be Matt O'Reilly's agent, but I think that the English are just trying to get one-upmanship on Celtic to try and get Matt O'Reilly on the cheap. And it's like, because they know that whoever gets Matt O'Reilly, whoever gets him for that 25, 30 million, will be able to sell him on in 2 years' time for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 million. He will progress that much as a player in the eyes of the beholder down south, that they will see him as that kind of money, because that's how crazy the market is down there. And if it does happen and Matt O'Reilly does go, I want him to go to the highest level. I don't want him to go to Birmingham. Brighton. I don't want him to go to Southampton. I don't want him to go to Chelsea. I want him to go to the very top of the game. Just like when Henrik Larsson left Celtic, he had his pick of teams. I think Matt O'Reilly, don't even say that I'm considering that Matt O'Reilly has been spoken about in the same breath as Henrik Larsson, because I know what you're like. You're all jump on every single word that I say. But I think that Matt O'Reilly should be aiming for the very, very top of the game. And when he leaves Celtic, that's where I want him to go. I don't want him to take another stepping stone and go, do you know what, if we do this move and then we could do another move. No, Matt O'Reilly has that ability in him to play at the very, very top level in a top team. Anyway, all the news and all the speculation is all about Matt O'Reilly. Chelsea keen on Matt O'Reilly as a potential Gallagher replacement. Brendan Rodgers says Kasper Schmeichel has a long-term goal that would be brilliant for Celtic. That means getting into the later stages of the Champions League. Someone better tell Brendan that we don't have the players in the outfield to be able to progress in the Champions League. It's all fine and having a nice goalkeeper at the back. We had a nice goalkeeper for the past couple of seasons. Is Schmeichel an upgrade? Some people say he is an upgrade on Joe Hart. I think what he did yesterday with handing his gloves to that young boy was absolutely fantastic. And he knows how to get to the hearts and strings of fans because he's been in the game long enough. And let's face it, he is a fantastic goalkeeper. But we're minus 2 or 3 players that will get us to that bit that Brendan wants to get us to. And if he's talking about the fact that Kasper Schmeichel has a long-term goal at getting past just the group stage of the Champions League, that would be absolutely fantastic. But do you really believe that this team of players can do that? Really? Playing Kilmarnock when they played offensive and don't even try and come out and they sat back waiting to get beat, if you ask me. The way that Kilmarnock was set up, they were just asking for it. And that's the way that this anti-football is in Scotland. There should be no benchmark whatsoever about our ability to go into the Champions League and then try and perform when a team's attack you with force and with pressure and with style and pure football ability and technique. We can't compete with that. Not a chance. Not an absolute chance. Anyway, let's speak about it this evening, 9 o'clock, Celtic part-time, where we can all have a little bit of a Monday night moan. Call it a Monday night moan. Call it a Monday night moan on the Celtic, One Celtic Fans View channel. On that note, have a fantastic day. Yes, especially you right now watching, because if you've made it to this point in the video, there's a lot of people that haven't. So I thank you for watching to this very end part. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Have a great day.